quite sensational breaking news. And was this expected? We knew the investigation was going on.
No, it was not at all expected. The people who follow the SEC more closely than I do say that usually on these types of cases, after the initial investigation, there's some effort to negotiate a settlement and try to reach this. So the fact that they went straight to a lawsuit is unusual.
So, Jamie, when you're looking at the allegations here, I mean, all of these allegations are very pointed. They're very direct in alleging that he committed, actions that at least the SEC feels were against regulations and potentially against the law. If these are found to be true, and if there is some sort of process that we go through where the SEC is able to either extract some sort of statement out of Elon Musk on this, can he stay on as CEO for Tesla?
I don't know. It depends what ends up getting resolved, right? So they're looking to, for instance, force Musk to disgorge any ill-gotten gains, which makes perfect sense if he, made a false or unsubstantiated claim to drive the stock price up. But as far as we've seen from any filings, he hasn't sold any stock. So it's not. Wouldn't seem that he got any direct gains that they could go after, but clearly they're going to, take a look at it and bring it up, have a discussion in court about it.
Jamie, how surprised are you by the speed with which it went from tweet funding secured to this?
That is the big surprise, especially when it wasn't tweet funding secured, stock goes up, sell stock, withdraw effort. So maybe they don't feel like they're getting the cooperation that they need, or they feel like there's some sense of urgency to it, which is why they move so quickly. This is, I think, not at all common for the SEC.
Yeah, and Jamie, what do you think was most at issue for the SEC? Do you think it was the price point, the fact that he put $420 on it, or the fact that he had funding secured?
Far be it from me to read the mind of the SEC, but from what we've been hearing, it sounds like it was the funding secured, which he proceeded in his own way through later tweets and blog posts to really indicate it wasn't secured, and that is that would seem to be obviously problematic. The other part, I guess, the 420, he said he was thinking about taking it private at that level. So maybe that leaves more wiggle room, but funding secured was not I think I have funding secured.
Jamie, through all of this, one of the main thing for Tesla shareholders is, okay, yes, there's a lot of distractions, the tweet, the law, et cetera, but how are the cars doing? Are they getting them out the door? What is our latest reporting on how the operations at Tesla have held up amid all this distraction?
As surprising and counterintuitive as it is, it seems that the operations are going quite well. Still a little unorthodox. I mean, right? It's not like when Toyota has a great month, but they're making a lot more vehicles than people had projected, that analysts had been projecting. They're hustling really hard to try to get as many of those delivered before the quarter closes on Sunday, which again is sort of this, unusual. It's not a standard smooth running machine, but they are making a lot of progress and aiming presumably to be able to report, actual GAAP profits and cash flow positive third quarter and going forward.
Jamie, we talk a lot about the sort of cult of Elon Musk, but there is a certain brand value that Tesla has on its own. And I'm curious as to how much that can sort of carry this company to whatever sort of the next chapter is, no matter what happens to Elon Musk.
Maybe. There's some momentum, there's some value to the brand, but to the it seems like to so many customers and to so many shareholders, the value of Tesla is in Elon Musk. It is, it is his genius and his passion for the product and for using the technology to change the world, to get us off of carbon, off of oil. And if there's no Elon Musk, it's just not the same company.
But Jamie, for a while now, particularly while Elon Musk almost seemed to present himself with his own problems by tweeting too much, then going on comedy-like programs. That was a distraction, and there was much discussion that maybe some sort of other executive should come in, either to be a COO role to help guide him in his leadership, or indeed to take over the helm. Are there any contingency plans out there whatsoever that you know of?
No, nothing like that we know of. We've had Dana Hull has been doing some great reporting on this, on the people who've left and their efforts to bring in new people. And what she's learned is that there's been no active COO search. There was the promotion of Jerome Guillen, the former Mercedes executive, into a president of automotive role, which could be sort of like a COO. It could be someone who could take over a lot of the operations, but that is not the same, and running automotive under Elon is not at all going to be the same as trying to run the company, if he is absent or prohibited from participating in some way.